Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to talk about the principles of qualitative research. But before that, let us introduce ourselves first. Next slide, please. My name is Karedia Tantri Maheswari with the student ID 211-202-1045, and my friends are.
My name is Komang Kurnia Akadela Putri with student number 211-202-1055. And my friend?
Well, my name is Ida Ayu Chandra Tisnawati with student number 211-202-1005H.
All right, next slide, please. There are several principles in qualitative research. And then for the first principle will be discussed by Dayu.
All right, so the first material is principle in qualitative research. Will read by me. So the first principle is research as the primary data collection instrument. So it means in qualitative research, the researchers is often the primary instrument for collecting data. This means that the researcher's subjective experiences, biases, and perspective can shape the research process and outcomes. For the example, conducting in-depth interviews. So, in research method, the researchers serve as the primary instrument for collecting data by asking open-ended questions and probing for further information based on the participant responses. And for the second is purposeful sampling. It means qualitative researchers purposefully select participants or cases that can provide rich and meaningful data to answer research questions. This differs from random sampling in quantitative research, where the participants are selected based on probability and representatives. For the example is, identify participants who are willing and able to provide rich and detailed information about their experiences, which is crucial in qualitative research. It could be a study on the experiences of cancer patients during their treatment process. The researchers might use purposeful sampling to select participants who have undergone different type of cancer treatment. Such as chemotherapy, radiation, or surgery, and who have varying degrees of illness, safety, age, gender, and socioeconomic status. Right, that's all for the example and the material from me. The next material will read by my partner. So the time I give back to the moderator. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dayu, for your explanation. And then for the next material will be explained by Dela. For Dela, time is yours.
Okay, thank you for the time. So I will explain the third principle in qualitative research. So the third is inductive data analysis. So qualitative researchers use inductive analysis to identify themes and patterns that emerge from the data. This means that the researcher doesn't start with preconceived categories or hypotheses, but rather allow the data to dictate the analysis. For the example is conducting a study on the experiences of women who have undergone breast cancer treatment. So the researcher conduct in-depth interview with a group of women who have recently completed treatment and transcribe the interview. The researcher might initially quote the data related to physical side effects of treatment, emotional experience, and social support. And researchers continue to read through the transcript. They may notice themes related to change in body image or self-esteem, spiritual belief or coping mechanism, and the role of healthcare provider in the treatment process. And the researcher then organizes the codes into border themes, create a codebook, and applies the codes to all the transcript. Next slide, please. So the first principle is reflexivity. So reflectivity refers to the researcher ongoing awareness and critical examination of their own base, assumption, and perspective throughout the research process. This includes acknowledging and addressing potential power dynamics between the researcher and participant. For the example is the researcher can reflect on their own assumption and how they may impact the research finding. So the researcher may have a bias toward focusing on the challenge and negative experience of healthcare workers during the pandemic based on their personal experience. And the researcher can take steps to ensure that the survey questions are neutral and unbiased. So after all, the researcher may assume that all healthcare workers have had similar experiences during the pandemic, when in reality experience might vary based on factors such as location, specialty, and role. So that's all material from me. For the time I give it back to the moderator. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dela. And the last principles uh, is contextualization. So in qualitative research, it refers to the process of understanding the meaning and significance of a particular phenomenon or experience by exploring its social, cultural, historical, and situational context. For the example is a researcher is conducting a study on experiences of immigrants who are learning English as a second language. Instead of just asking about their language proficiency, the researcher would also ask questions about their cultural background, their reasons for immigrating, their experiences in their home country, and in their new country, and the social and economic factors that impact their language learning. By exploring these contextual factors, the researcher can gain a deeper understanding of the participants' experiences. And that's all the material of principles in qualitative researcher. And next slide, please. And this is the reference that we use. It is from Creswell. And next slide, please. And thank you for the attention. And that's it from us. And see you in other opportunity. Bye.